event. This is wonderful. Not sure if you know this, but we are partnered up this year with Outcomes to really dig down into clinical expertise and technology and folding that together to empower our pharmacists. And I'm here with Matt Klingeneth.
Keithanam.
Keith. I'm here with Matt Keithanam, who is with Outcomes. Matt, it's so good to finally meet you.
Cool. Yeah. Happy to be here. And yeah, excited. First time doing a pharmacy podcast. So yeah,
that's good.
we'll do it together. We'll stumble through.
This is the place to do it if you're going to do it. So I really want to kind of talk about, clinical services and the expansion of clinical services but documentation that is associated with clinical services and what changes you expect to see. And is there any early indicators of like success on what changes are happening?
What's interesting is like in the pharmacy space, as we all know, we're trying to find more reimbursable revenue opportunities. And I think now post dispensing, there's a lot of things happening in pharmacy where we're performing services, whether it's a point of care test or an evaluation and management conversation, medication administration. And so what you're finding is that we're trying to get that now billed through a medical benefit, right?
Okay.
Where that's maybe not always been done in traditional pharmacy. And with that comes some documentation requirements. There's two sides of it. There is the clinical documentation to make sure you have a sound, comprehensive care for your patient, make sure if you're ever audited that you have a record of that.
Yep.
And then there is what needs to go on the actual medical billing file to get paid.
Yeah.
And so what Outcomes has been looking towards is making sure we can satisfy both of those needs. Can we get the answers and the questions there in front of the patient and the pharmacist to make sure that protocols are met for great clinical care? And at the same time, can we translate that and get the information needed to translate into a medical bill, into an 837, which even I don't know how to do, but I do know that there's a lot of like requirements to get that out and paid.
So is this CPT codes or is it ICD-10 codes? I mean, what's the data that's actually being gathered from the NCPDP script to making it make sense so that we can get paid for it?
Yeah, you hit the two most important. Like if we're speaking about what's important on the medical billing claim, ICD-10 really important, right? Because certain medical conditions are going to qualify patients to get paid for certain services. I think the payers are really strict about that, and you have to be in the codified language of ICD-10. And then there is CPT. CPT, maybe you've seen this in medical offices already, and we're trying to get into that, like time spent. Is this a new patient? Is this an established patient? Was it 15 minutes? Was it 30 minutes?
Yeah.
All that translates into CPT. Again, we don't really, I think, in the world of pharmacy, we don't want to expect everyone to know the CPT and even ICD-10 like library and database. I think that's what technology is for. I think technology is for helping users find the selection that makes sense. Like, can I find that someone has a certain condition and I spent this much time, and then let the technology handle that actually translates to 38100-27290, right? And so that's where I think technology can help. But I do think we need to transition this way because, I think the medical benefit dollars are there, but we do need the systems and tools and codified language to be able to take advantage of that.
Are there flags in a system like Outcomes, for example, that if you pull up an NDC code, the system knows, hey, this is associated with this treatment, and therefore this treatment is candidate for this treatment plan that now Outcomes could command? Is there something there that could give me as a pharmacist a flag to say, are you missing out on a treatment opportunity?
That's a really good concept. And I would say not yet, but this is where we're trying to go, right? Because we can't just have the technology there to let you document an encounter, and there's no one there that's going to pay for it, right? So we need to bring both together. I think Outcomes has played so well already in the MTM space, and now we're trying to leverage what else can we do to bring those targeted opportunities that we know are going to get paid. Very recently, we're piloting something with a certain payer in the state of Pennsylvania for asthma patients that are identified. And now we do want to flag that in platform and tell you can have this conversation with patient and document it and get paid on the medical benefit side of things. So I do think both Outcomes and even pharmacies, really progressive pharmacies, are doing great work in getting into some of these medical billing contracts. And then based on the targeting requirements, that can populate as a flagged opportunity. Right. Some aren't. So some of the folks that are using our modules today are doing like point of care, test and treat. You can't really target it. Like someone needs to walk in with the symptoms of I have a cold, I have a fever, and now you can administer that service. But again, something else like an asthma program is there. And I think we are striving to bring more of those types of opportunities so that you don't have to go searching for that and finding those patients. Let us find them for you and give you the technology and the capability to build towards that. Again, we're not all there yet, but that is like where we are thinking and where we want to head.
I think getting to those places in leveraging of technology isn't just the platform pushing the agenda or pushing that ability, even though you guys are the designers of the tech. I think the client out there, the pharmacy out there, is part of that. So, a shout out to our pharmacists, a shout out to our pharmacy owners out there. If you have conditions, if you have hypertension or some kind of cardio disease, or someone's coming off of a specific treatment or operation that gives you an opportunity to dial into the specifications, reach out to the outcomes team and say, hey, is this patient in this situation candidate for more services, so that it's not just about dispensing fee, it's also about the treatment that I'm providing.
Yeah, I mean, I think we want to get paid not just for the dispense, but that time spent, that consultative nature of that conversation is also something that's reimbursable, and we have to get there. I've been speaking to a lot of people today at the show about exactly that. I want those pharmacies that are being progressive and able to identify some contracts that they may be in or even thinking about. We want to help get that there too. I think we do need to work together, right? For those progressive pharmacies that want to work with outcomes, let's find ways to then bring those opportunities, get them reimbursed on that medical benefit side, because you're right, the technology itself is not going to do it. There is a like contractual side to this as well.
If there's a chronic patient, let's say they're always on a medication month after month after month, is there a magic number of medications on the patient's profile that would then tell me, hey, we should be running an MTM on a specific cycle for this specific patient?
I don't know. I don't have the magic number equation figured out, and I do think it matters by condition that we're targeting. And
Yep.
sometimes it's 7 or more maintenance meds, but maybe
Yeah.
it's just 3, right? And
3,
you can see
exactly.
certain payer programs are looking at maybe it's not just one of those ICD-10 codes. Usually, it's like they must be on 3 or more chronic conditions.
Yep.
And it's trying to find the happy balance of maybe who are the most expensive patients to even to those plans. To make sure that, well, let's have those interventions and to prevent all that other like spend that's happening.
That on top of it, so if we take a condition that also gives us in our stores an opportunity to suggest supplements that complement that disease state, another opportunity to make money is around medication therapy management, kicking out other opportunities for the patient.
Yeah, that's a really good point, and I really like that idea of like the supplemental kind of like recommendations, if you will,
Right.
and some of those things that can just be over the counter, right?
Exactly.
That you more revenue opportunity for that. I think it's another way just to grow business in a creative way.
Absolutely, Matt. This has been special to be able to interview you here at booth 132 for Outcomes here at ThoughtSpot 2025. I hope to have you back on the show.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Yep, bye.